I've been meaning to make like videos about stuff, but I just ran out of motivation. But I was just playing around on my email and I saw all the comments people left, and I have like a whole like 25 subscribers, so but I've been meaning to show people how to play the ukulele. I went from the ukulele to the guitar, now I'm on the violin, and the violin is supposed to be the hardest, and this is supposed to be the easiest. So I'm gonna start with this. This is how to play it badly, and I'm not saying like actually badly, but I'm saying like with less effort. This is how to do it fast. And I'm sorry that I'm probably not going to edit this video much, so. Okay, so the basis, you've got the basis, you probably need the string names. So there's like a bunch of different acronyms you can do. I don't actually remember the string names. I can remember from my other instruments, but that's my dog making the scratch. Hold, please. So you got G, C, E, A. The most popular is like girls can eat apples. For the violin, the strings are different. I mean, the strings are the same, they're in a different order. So I do guys can't actually eat. So this is guys can't eat actually. G, C, E, A. But unless you're reading off of like sheet music, which I tend to not, it doesn't matter that much. You just need to know like the kind of framing. So like most stringed instruments, each you kind of read these like in a U sort of formation. So I should start. You should hold the neck, this part, the neck of the ukulele with your non-dominant hand, and you should strum with your dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so I'm strumming with my right hand. Okay, so now from the top of the ukulele, if you're right-handed, I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna be the opposite if you're the other way, but if you're right-handed, you can always just follow the string up if you're not sure which to tune. But the first string, you use this one. The second string, you use this peg. The third string, you use this one. And the fourth string, you use this one. And you can get like other kind of tuners and that kind of stuff. But I play like lazily. Like I don't put a whole bunch of effort into what I'm doing because I just don't have it to give. So I just use an app on my phone, which is absolutely fine. You just move the pegs and keep doing this while you're doing that. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so the next thing that you really need to know is there are these like gold things. That's a fret. Each one of these is a fret. You see, that's a different fret. And these dots, these are to show you what number of fret it is. So like this is 5. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just to make it easier when you're changing, mainly when you're doing tabs, when you're just doing finger plucking, like this. Like that. Because they just give you numbers. Obviously, if you're using sheet music, it's whole differently, but I just use online things, but I'm going to get to that. Sorry for the disorganization. Okay, so with the frets, you don't want to put your hand on a fret. That's really all. The chords are going to be in the middle of the frets. Your hands are not too big for this. A lot of people think that their hands are too big, but it's really how you just have to get used to it. Okay, and there are a couple different ways for you to handle the neck while you're doing your chords. So what's probably more beneficial is if you do it like this, where you have your thumb across the back of the neck, because that hurts your thumb less. So there are obviously going to be chords that you need to put your thumb against the ukulele, which is what I always do because that's how I was taught from a YouTube video, because that's really how I learn. But if I'm playing a longer song, like I totally recommend the Ukulele Anthem. That's a 4-minute song and I love it, but my thumb is aching by the end of it. So I recommend starting off using just putting your thumb around the back of the neck, and then when it comes time to do like a full chord, then you switch. So you can just do that and then move. So what I do and what I'll be doing is you just do that and then you move your chords accordingly. My thumb is on the direct back of the neck, and then I use my 4 fingers to move around. Now, if I'm doing a lower chord, I definitely move my thumb, but generally it's going to stay right here because I think I have a soprano ukulele, so all of the chords are really high, like that. So if you move your chords down, it still sounds fine, but most of your pop songs are going to be at the top. Now, with strumming, there are a couple different ways to strum. For one, you can use a pick, which I use sometimes and is definitely good for beginners. And then you can use your thumb or you can use your fingers. So if I'm using my pick, here, I'll move in a little more. Then I'm going to be doing, you can hold it on the outside, but I found that if I hold it on the inside, it sounds better. For example, that. And sometimes the pick falls out of my hand because I'm not holding tight enough, because you really want to be loose when you're strumming, because if you're too tight, it's just not going to sound good. So on the outside, there. Now with your thumb, you're just moving down and back up again. And now you don't really, I don't know, you just want to be loose with it, but I didn't actually learn how to strum with my thumb on the ukulele until I started on the guitar, because I actually found, which is usually the reverse for other people, that it was easier for me to use my hand on the guitar and my pick on the ukulele. But since I started learning on the guitar, I started doing it more. I'll get some up close action. I'm just moving my thumb back and forth, and then you can do it with your 2 fingers. You can either do this or this. I think it will mainly do this. This has a louder sound, but it also hurts my fingers more. Do that like with a little bit of thumb, but I really just do this or the pick. But everyone is different, and absolutely go with whatever makes you happy, because this is how to play it easily, and you want to do whatever is the easiest. Okay, now, most of the time you're going, if you're doing it lazily like I do, you're going to use different online resources. So, uTabs is probably my favorite. So there's uTabs and there's ukulele tabs, and then there's also guitar tabs, and guitar tabs has some ukulele tabs. It doesn't matter that much what you use. So you can see I am on the website right now, and so I'm just gonna find an easy song, and I'm just gonna take you through the basis. So I'm picking I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. So there are a bunch of different ways to get out of playing a chord you don't like. So most pop songs use like the same 3 chords, and they're mostly easy. So I'm just gonna walk you through a couple that are pretty easy. So and most websites and stuff, you can find these finger charts. It'll show you what finger to use where and on what fret. You just start from the top. For example, this is A minor right here, and it shows you your chords, but it says 2, so you use your 2nd finger and you put it on, and then you strum, and and that's the A minor. Congratulations. Now you gotta make sure you're not touching the other chord, because if you do, it's gonna sound like this. It sounds, it'll just mute it, or it'll make that sound. So that's why I like doing this, but you can do it with a little more contortion. So so that was an A minor. Really popular is C, which is the 3rd fret down. And most of the time you can use whatever fingers you want, but you definitely want to use your ring finger to do the C chord, because there are a whole bunch of other chords that you're gonna want to move. It just works so much easier. I tried not doing that. That was not a good idea. So 3rd finger, 3rd fret, C. Then there's the E minor, which is kind of like a stepping kind of thing. You have your 1st finger on the 2nd fret, your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, and your 3rd finger on the 4th fret. There you go. And then the more you practice, obviously the better you're going to get. The more chords you learn, it's probably going to be better. But some songs you can do different chords with. So if you find a song and that you like really want to play, and it has chords that you're like, oh, I do not want to play this, or like it's so hard for me, especially as a beginner, you can find different versions, or sometimes you can just skip a chord. For example, hypothetically, you could skip this D7 chord, which obviously you probably don't want to do, but you can substitute them, or you can just ignore it, because a lot of people won't notice. So, okay. And then here's a finger chart. I do finger charts sometimes. Again, it'll show you the name of the chord you want, and then which finger. So if it says the A chord and the 3rd fret, then that's this one, and then 3rd fret. Obviously, I learned Fior Elise, and that's 8, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, and then like more, It's actually it's a good like crowd pleaser, but it's like not hard. A lot of stringed instruments is just memorization. So all you're going to need to learn how to do, there are 2 things. You need to learn how to strum, and you need to learn how to switch chords. Switch chords is basically just muscle memory. There's nothing more to that. So if you're having trouble switching chords, you just look at what you're doing, and then you slow down the movement to move from the other chord. So if I'm trying to move from, this is a G, I have my first finger on the A chord, my 2nd finger on the 2nd string from the top, and the 3rd finger in the middle of those 2. That's the sound. But I'm moving from the G chord to the F chord. So I'm going to slow it down. So this is how it looks normally. I don't know if I can do this comfortably. Now you couldn't really see that, but if you're having trouble, you can just watch your fingers. Now obviously you can't see this very well, but if you're looking from this point of view, okay, so to move chords, I just look at my fingers, I think about where they need to go. So for the F chord, for the F chord, I have to have my first finger on this chord, the 2nd one from the bottom, because I don't remember the chords, and then where my A chord is, my A minor chord, I mean. So my 2nd finger on the A, the top A. Okay, so if I'm moving, I know where I want to go, so I know first I'm only using 2 fingers. So I'm going to pick up this one because I don't need it. Then I think about moving my fingers together, because you don't want to do 1-1. So you're going to think about picking this one up and moving. That's all you have to do. You just have to figure out the mechanics. Then you have to do it a whole bunch of times until you get muscle memory, and then you can do it without looking. Obviously this takes a little. I think it took me a year to learn the ukulele. I mean, it probably takes other people less because I wasn't super motivated, but it's a pretty easy instrument. I mean, given it's probably the easiest instrument. Okay, so this is taking a bit. Okay, so then you just music. So there are different strumming patterns. There's like just the down, the up, down, and then you have like, you can go like down, down, up, down, or like, I just sometimes, well, more with the guitar, because the ukulele, just the way it sounds, you're mostly just gonna be doing up, down, but you can do like down, down, and then when you switch chords, down, down, up, switch, down. So one more time, down, down, up, switch, down. There you go. But just, Jason, I'm gonna do the first thing to show you, maybe get a closer look at what I'm doing. The mechanics, it's really not a hard instrument. I'm not gonna sing though, but you can hear it. Now that's 4 chords, and that's basically the only 4 chords you're going to use in the entire song. So, it's also the chord, Flint, stop. It's also the the same 4 chords that you're going to use for basically every other song. So it's C, G, A minor, and F. I really think that's all you need to know. I mean, there's not much to this instrument. It is a beautiful instrument. That's all there is. To recap, G, C, E, A, I don't know, to just switch chords. That's all there is to. Each fret is a different number, each finger is a different number, so starting from your first finger, 1, second finger, third, 4. Like as you're counting, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So, that's really all you need to know. You just need to play with it. Well, thanks for watching. See you the next time I post.